My name is Michael Carls. I'm from ZY Solutions. I'd really like to thank you all for attending today. We got some current CRM clients of ZY on the call today, as well as some new faces. Point of today's call is to show everybody a sneak peek look at CRM 2011 before it comes out next month, and demonstrate how it can be a very valuable tool for your sales, marketing, customer service process, as well as how it can be customized to fit to your business. At any point today on the call, you have a question, please fire away. And at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Bob Pasculi of Microsoft to show you everything. So take it away, Bob.
Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Absolutely want this to be an interactive presentation today. I know we have some technical challenges here, so please feel free to go ahead and chat those in as well if we're having voice issues and hearing you. I'm a partner technology advisor. I've been here at Microsoft. I'm a newbie, 3 years. And I actually came in with the release of CRM 4.0, which is the current release that we're currently on today at this moment. With that release, we really put our first we jumped into that enterprise market. We came out with the capabilities, that foundation to really get in that enterprise space, for those 15, 20,000 type deals that were out there. Now with CRM 2011, which is just around the corner, it's probably really our most significant release in the history of this product. I know some of you out there, and thank you, probably been with us since 1.0. But with this release, we have over 500 enhancements and really a wealth of new features. Of course, in the time we have today, we're not going to be able to address all of them. We are going to cover, I think, the ones that, in general, no matter what type of end customer you are, whether what vertical you're in or what your business is, I think you'll be able to see the value that these can provide to your business. So, of course, we're these features and capabilities, but ultimately, it's really how these features and enhancements are going to help your specific organization really become more productive. That is important. That's what we're going to cover today. So in essence, what I'm going to do today is show you the day in the life of CRM from a user perspective. We're going to leverage PowerPoint, and we're also going to leverage some live demonstrations as well as we go out through the day today. So from an agenda perspective, we're going to start off with, make sure my slides are moving here. We'll go over the sales module. We'll touch on customer care. We'll also touch upon extended CRM. Some of you have known this as XRM. And then throughout, depending on on how this works with questions and getting comments, we might do a demonstration at the end of each section as well, or maybe save demonstration for the end. And of course, we'll do a summary at the end to answer any additional questions or comments that the audience may have. So over the last really 18, since the release of 4.0, which starts, the cycle for investing in the next release of CRM, our R&D has focused on these 3 pillars here for CRM 2011. That's familiar, right? Natural and personal. Based on the belief that CRM applications should be natural and personal, right, to foster that user adoption, good usage of the CRM application. And then the pillar of intelligent. The CRM solution, right, should help your organization run your business in a more intelligent manner by providing those insightful, right, actionable tools for all users, just not a segment of those users. Of course, connected. No longer am I the sole person out there running my business. So if you take sales, for example, as an account manager, I have to collaborate with my internal folks as well. So ultimately, right, the CRM solution should help not only your organization connect with your people, but also the processes and systems that those people need to leverage to meet their goals for this specific role. So if we look at the competitive landscape of where we're at today, we can say that the economic recession officially is over, right? If you look at any economists, if you have any 2 quarters of growth, which we have, albeit slight, but we're officially out of that valley of that recession. But many of us, right, all companies, right, we're still reeling from its effects. That downturn, in the end, what it's led for all of our businesses is a very competitive landscape. Right, our customers have unparalleled access to your information, but also your competitors' information. Right, the barriers to allow them to switch from a service or a product, those are rapidly eroding. And with all this happening, right, our reductions within our own organizations, right, we're being expected to do more with less, right, rings the bell of efficiency. And with all this adding up, at the end of the day, our customers are even demanding more. They're demanding a better experience, right? They're demanding when they call into us, when we deal with them, they know everything about us, our buying habits, what we've called in last time, and what we are to their business from a value standpoint. So with all of this demand, as you can see it to the right, and this is something that Forrester did, I'm not going to summarize all of this, but in the end, if you look at what's going on here, is our resources from a IT perspective, from a support perspective, for any type of business application, those are either flat or declining in very few cases, and God bless you if you are, are you actually getting more resources to help with your business needs? So that's why for 2011 we have this renewed focus on productivity. So as you can see from this quote from Gartner, productivity gains are viewed as a key requirement for earnings growth, and really ultimately the success of your business. So maybe you're privately owned and maybe earnings growth is not a key indicator. But that's really what exactly what we focus these new capabilities on with 2011, improving productivity. So in the past, we've had this power of choice message where you choose as a customer how you consume CRM, whether you're consuming it from your own data center or you're consuming it from an online provider like Microsoft or a hosting provider for Microsoft software. So let's talk about sales and its power of productivity and how CRM 2011 addresses these key things out there in the marketplace today. So from a sales productivity standpoint, it's really built on these two pillars, sales efficiency and sales effectiveness. And both are key. You can't have one without the other to drive sales productivity. So we talk about efficiency. Now I'm talking about, how are salespeople spending their time, right? We want them spending less time on things like account maintenance, administration, traveling, planning, just getting that information out of CRM. It should be at their fingertips. And from an effective standpoint, what we're talking about here is once they have that information, right, they're efficient in how they're getting it, they're effective in how they're interpreting it, right, being able to do needs identification, solution development, the product demonstrations, when to do a demonstration, proposal development, and closing, right, the negotiation, the pricing, the contracting, all those processes, we need to be effective in doing that. So we need to be both sales efficient and sales effective to achieve this productivity, and that's what 2011 is going to help us do here. And so we'll start looking at some examples. So here are the promises that Microsoft is making to you, our customers, around 2011. So we're going to help enable your sales organization to increase sales output and efficiently, specifically increasing time with customers, improving those close rates, shortening the sales cycle, and achieving real-time insight. So at this point, Michael, if you can send me an email, just send it to that email address in my live demo system. Just kind of put something in there like, looking to buy CRM. In a little bit here, we're going to go into that demonstration. We're going to see how we can then take Michael's email and walk through a day in the life of addressing Michael's request.
Sure.
So we are building upon the Salesforce automation capabilities that are today in 4.0. So those of you who are familiar with 4.0, we have a complete lead-to-cash CRM system with the current release. So we're going to build upon that. So we're not going to spend too much time on that here today. Let's go right into 2011 here today. So we're going to talk about, again, how we can reduce that busy work, help your organization reduce that work by giving them more time for customer interactions, right? Improve team selling, increasing those close rates, streamlining lead management, and which in turn will shorten those sales cycles. Of course, helping the organization and everyone within the organization attain those real-time sales performance metrics to make those informed strategic decisions on how I go about my role in meeting the goals that have been set upon me. So the first one we're going to look at here, and it really has to do with those pillars around increasing time with customers and achieving real-time insight. So at the end of the day, sales is all about generating revenue. And to you, spending more time with customers, that is key. So those high-value activities. So the best way to do this is to reduce that busy work. Well, with 2011, we can help your sales organization reduce that busy work by really giving them more time with customers. So for an example, as we're looking here at this particular screenshot, we now have this real-time filtering capability in 2011 to help the sales professional spend less time looking for customer and deal information. So for those of you that are in 4.0 or prior releases of CRM, then we have things like save views. We're going to have all these save views. So if I wanted to see something in the next month or this month, I can have a save view for that. Or here, just like within Excel, I can have a filter view right away show up on my main screen of that particular table. In this case, we're talking about opportunities. So again, less time looking for information means salespeople have more time for that core competency, selling with those customers. And again, this one's going to address our increasing time with customers, shortening the sales cycle, and also improving close rates. So from a lead management perspective, historically for a lot of customers, there's been that problem area, for both sales and marketing organizations. Specifically, those issues around how do we hand off leads, how do we qualify those leads, and then just that whole qualification process, how are we rating those leads. Well, with 2011, we can help your sales and marketing organization take really a more consistent, streamlined, and intelligent approach to lead management. So for instance, for those of you that already leverage Microsoft Outlook and the conditional formatting capabilities, so a lot of times, for me, for example, when my manager emails me, I have that show up in red in Outlook. If it's sent directly to me from anyone in the world, I have that highlighted in blue. So if I'm away for a couple days, I'm on the road all day, I open up my inbox, I get an immediate kind of an intelligent approach to which emails I should be addressing first. So CRM, with the deep integration that we now have even more with Outlook, I can take advantage of this conditional formatting feature. So in this case here, we're showing that any deal over a certain size, we're going to highlight in green and have a different font and increase that font size. So again, being able to do lead scoring, have that high probability of those leads be in that green font. So now that sales rep doesn't have to open up each individual lead record, and that really turns into them saving time and giving them more time to sell. Excel. We've always had the ability to export out of Dynamics CRM into Excel and do that dynamically so that data can be refreshed in Excel out of CRM without having to log back into CRM. When we kind of go on this lead kind of day in the life here, we think about that lead quality. So again, in 4.0 we had the capability to export the leads, but now in 2011 we have the capability to re-import that into CRM. So it's kind of a use case around that. So, a lot of us do trade shows in some cases. Like for an example, one of the salespeople would get a list of leads from the marketing group, maybe gather at a trade show again, for instance, and realize that the lead data is incomplete, or maybe it's a little bit inaccurate. So what they could do is export them to a marketing group who can then cleanse those leads, add additional details, then actually re-import those leads right back into CRM, where those changes then would be automatically reflected in the system. So you can imagine, what happens if we didn't have that capability? It required the salesperson and the marketing staff, to send Excel files back and forth, compare versions. They maybe manually, have to change those records now in CRM. Now, all those wasted sales cycles can be applied to working and following up with those leads. And that really, in turn, can lead to better quality leads and really a more efficient, use of everyone's time in the sales and marketing organization. Team ownership. In CRM 4.0, everything had to be assigned to a user. That was kind of like that pinnacle. Records had to be assigned to someone. They couldn't exist without someone actually owning them. What we introduced here with CRM 2011 now is this concept of team ownership. So I think we can all agree, that organizations that sell well together can close more deals together. So we now help and enable that with CRM 2011 now with this team ownership concept. So for an example, the team record ownership capability now in 2011 allows you as an organization to create maybe a virtual sales team. Maybe the sales team is called the large account sales team that focuses on large customers. But then even further, that large account sales team can now in turn create another team-based opportunities. Handout activities, team-based tasks, workflows, or notes. At the end of the day, this is going to allow now those team members to take a more coordinated sales approach and work really as a unified team, again, resulting in better engagement with the prospect or the customer, and improving the overall selling, a single view of that customer and how you're going to interact with them from a team-based approach. This is probably one of the more exciting things that we've got a lot of, chatter about here, and because we do social networking, so we looked at Twitter, and, a lot of people are excited about this new inline visualization capability that we have here now with 2011. So real-time sales performance, of course, is a critical element to any well-run sales organization. The day is a couple days old, or even a day old, on basing decisions on, information that is no longer current. So what we're showing here is how Dynamics CRM 2011 can help your organization achieve real-time sales performance and be able to make those more informed decisions with inline data visualization. Again, we're going to go into live demonstration and kind of actually show you how this works live. So with this new inline visualization is a powerful set of new capabilities, and frankly speaking, something our customers or our competition currently doesn't offer. So here we see a pre-built pipeline visualization. So I can literally go into that pipeline, filter it, and my grid's going to filter as well. So these are tied together. So that visual and that grid in the middle are actually tied together. And these come out of the box. So out of the box of 2011, the sales, marketing, customer service, you get out of the box charts, these visualizations, and also dashboards, which we're going to talk about later. So kind of all these little examples we kind of just quickly talk through. And again, we're going to go into a live demonstration. Allows that salesperson to instantly view and visualize that data. And at the end of the day, that's going to allow them to better track that information, right, that data, so they can take proactive action when necessary to make those informed decisions. So here's an example of a dashboard. Again, with CRM 2011, you get dashboards out of the box. You don't require anything else. You don't require any other Microsoft technologies. These are now CRM capabilities and features built right within CRM. And just like the visualizations were user configurable, so are the dashboards. We'll see some examples of that in the demonstration today. So with these dashboards, it's a completely new capability that we did not have in CRM 4. So now I have the ability as a user to grab charts that I use on a constant basis, to grab resources from external sites, or even to grab a web application that maybe my administrator I pulled down from the CRM Marketplace, which we talked about earlier, and drop that into the chart here. So for example, here we're showing Bing Maps that's plotting all my customer information. All I do is I simply grab that and drop that into my dashboard, and it just works. We make it easy for those users to do. And different from some of our CRM competitors is these dashboards are real time. They can be refreshed as many times as you want during the day without penalty. It can help ensure, again, your sales organizations have the most up-to-date data to base their decisions on. With that, let's actually get into the live demonstration. So as I bring up that live demonstration, I believe the phone lines are kind of up for all of us, but if you want to chat something in as well, any questions at this point as I bring up the demonstration here? Okay, I don't know, Michael, I don't see any questions on the line, so I'm just going to move forward here. So what I am showing here, you're looking at Microsoft Outlook. What was your question? Oh, this is Michael getting back to me. We're looking at Microsoft CRM 2011. As those of you that are existing CRM customers, we surface CRM right within the Microsoft Outlook interface. We've done that in 4.0. We now do it even deeper here with CRM 2011. I'm going to show you some of the examples of this deep integration. So on the left side, for those of you that haven't used CRM before, you can see those additional business processes we put just in the folders here to the left. So you'd normally see your inbox, with your sent folders, but now we've just added CRM here. My organization happens to be called Microsoft 479 for demonstration purposes, but here's where all my sales information can be found. We'll touch on customer service and marketing in a little bit. So one thing I want to point you to right off the bat is I had Michael send me an email. That was what he sent us here just a few minutes ago. It came in at 10:19. As you can see, this is automatically being tracked in CRM. That's what this double icon means here. So I've already done opportunities with Michael in the past. Michael's a current customer of mine for this particular demonstration. So automatically, CRM is tracking that. So I can go ahead and delete this email, and I'll have to drop it in a different folder or save it or print it. CRM's got my back. It's already being tracked in CRM. I can just filter this email away. As you can see to the bottom right there, we have also taken advantage of Outlook's 2010 social networking connector. So we can see what Michael's input has been on LinkedIn, for example. So here we see that Michael recently made a connection, but also I can see my history. We just saw that Michael just sent us an email as well. So I'm showing that in a single view, haven't had to click around. I'm getting an all-up kind of view of everything about Michael without having to do anything other than see a preview of that email. What I'm showing over here in this yellow box is what's the relationships that Michael has with my business. Well, of course, Michael's a contact in CRM. He's also has a lead with me right now. That's what this icon means here. He also has a relationship to me, Bob Pasquille, as a CRM user. So again, I can see that with a single view of what's going on. So let's say let's say it's Monday morning or Sunday night. Let's say it's Sunday night. I'm that aggressive account manager. And I'm kind of taking a look at my inbox here. So I see that, Michael has sent me something. He's got a CRM question. Well, I happen to know that, Michael is really interested. He wants to buy CRM for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this right to an opportunity. So all I have to simply do, go here to the top, do a convert, and convert this to an opportunity. Again, I haven't opened up this email, haven't done anything. So what CRM is going to ask me is, all right, fantastic, did this come in via source campaign? In this case, yeah, it did. I know we sent something out. It was a product launch for CRM 2011. Go ahead and do that. And now what I can do is I got CRM open up that new opportunity form for me if I want to add some additional information. In this case, I don't. I just want to track this opportunity. I have nothing else to do. If I did have this email open, if I just didn't go from the preview pane, CRM and Outlook would automatically close that email pane for me, again, reducing the amount of windows that I have to open up that I have to manage. And I also want to record this, as a closed campaign response as well. So go ahead and click OK. So now at this point, I'm done with Michael. I have an opportunity in my pipeline. I can go ahead and delete this email, and all that's being tracked by CRM. I have no other tasks from an account management maintenance perspective that I have to do as an end user, saving myself time. So in this case, again, being Monday morning, Sunday night, I want to let's get an idea of all my opportunities. So I'm just going to go ahead and simply click on my opportunities here. Go ahead and bring these up. As I'm looking at my opportunities, as you'll see, and this is beta, so the performance is sometimes a little interesting. I never know on the back end when they're doing server maintenance. So we're just going to give this a few more seconds. I can always go to a recorded demo I did, but it looks like we're good here. So as we look, as you remember in that previous screen in my inbox, just how I have a preview pane for my email, I now have preview panes for all my entities in CRM. So as you can see here, this particular opportunity, here's all the details. I can kind of go around, look at all the details here. Don't have to open up the opportunity to get to those details. I can scroll down, look at the different details as well, and other opportunities as well. Here's the one that Michael just sent me, I just created around CRM here, potential customer. I see he had a CRM question. Again, there's the details on Michael. This is all great, but I'm more of a visual person. So let's kind of talk about those inline visualizations. So in this case, I want to view a chart. So I'm going to go ahead and put the chart to the right. And in this case, let's bring up maybe a pipeline report here. But you know what? Since I got my screen a little kind of mashed up here to fit on the screen, let's put this at the top. Here's my top 10 customers. Again, these are out of the box. In this case, I just want to look at my pipeline. So what this chart reflects now, it reflects everything in this grid below. Now, if I were to filter my grid below, my chart would change on top. If I were to filter my chart, let's actually go ahead and do that. So I want to inspect my prospects here in this particular place of the funnel. So I can go ahead and click on this, and I'm going to pull them up by potential customer. And I want to maybe do a bar chart on this one. And go ahead and click OK. So now you'll notice at the bottom, I'm left with just two opportunities, and these two opportunities happen to be with potential customers, Verity Store, and Litware, and I can see the details around that. Now all of this is interactive and all of this is live, so I can simply click the back button to go back to that funnel and be able to see that information how I originally saw it. Again, reducing the click, you haven't seen any additional windows open to get the information I need to do my job. So with this particular use case here I just showed you, you can see how CRM 2011 enables your salespeople to spend more time with your customers and less time sorting and filtering and researching customer information. Any questions or comments at this point? We'll go through a couple more use cases here in the demonstration. All right, so this next one, let's say we just got off a Monday morning sales meeting. Of course, with any sales meeting, right, there's a pipeline review, right? We're inspecting that pipeline, inspecting the forecast. Well, the meeting ended with our sales manager tasking us to find an additional 100K in pipeline for the quarter. So to fill that pipeline, we're told that we can also work with, in this case, I don't really have a marketing organization. Depending on all the people on the call here, if you have someone that just focuses on marketing, within my organization here in this example demo, I'm also kind of responsible for the marketing as well from a sales organization. So I'm told that there's been a promotion kind of put in the system to offer 25% off to the end of the month. So again, we can build that pipeline and get more people in the funnel. So let's kind of walk through that use case. So what I'm going to do is I need to look at my current leads. I need to assess those leads to anyone that can I can put in that funnel to get that funnel in for these next 30 days and maybe take advantage of that 25% additional off that my manager says that we can offer. So here's an example of my leads. And again, I'm more of a visual person, so just like before, we can see the preview pane over here for all my leads. Don't have to actually go into them to see what's going on with the details. Let's go ahead and pull up a chart again. Let's see how that looks to the right. Oh, yeah, that's not as great. So let's go ahead and pull that. I'll bring that one on top as well. And okay, that's all fine and great. Let's do it by maybe the source in this case. How are these leads coming in? All right, that's all fine and well, but that doesn't really help me sort by which one should I be focusing on. So maybe we'll do it by rating. All right, so here's the ones by rating, so that kind of helps me out here. You know what, I want to not only do it by rating, I also want to do it by, when they were added. I want to see which leads were more fresh, right? The ones that maybe come in the last couple months, the ones that aren't stale that have been sitting out there. So here's an example of what we can do around conditional formatting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my view settings. I'm going to go into my conditional formatting. And I'm going to add a new conditional rule here. So I'm going to go ahead and add one. We're going to call this, we'll call this hot leads, hot fresh leads. How about that? And any of my hot, fresh leads, I want to turn that to a bigger font, and we're going to go ahead and turn those to, we'll do a red. Go ahead and click OK. Now at this point, we have to put a condition in the system. All right, so the condition in this case is I have all the CRM fields available to me as a CRM user. So in this case, I'm going to look for my rating. Here's my rating. In this case, contains hot. I'm going to add that to the list. I also want to add when that lead came in. I want my fresh leads. I don't want to be working with my stale leads here. So here we'll do, I believe we can do a created on. And not anytime. We want to do it, let's see, on or after. Let's do 10/1/2010. Add that to the list. Click OK. Click OK. And now we should see that. So here we go. So now we see Jason, Lisa, and Bob. We've seen that change. We see the color. Now, anytime new leads get assigned to me, come into the system, that filter will automatically be applied. Well, this is all great, but remember my original objective. My objective was now to reach out to these leads. So what I want to do is I'm going to add them to a marketing campaign. So I can simply click these three, go up here to the top under my marketing campaign and add them. Oh, go to my leads, and add them to a marketing campaign. We'll start with lists here, because again, we don't necessarily have a marketing group, so we're going to add them to eligible leads. Let's expand that. No, they're eligible for this 25% off. Go ahead and click OK. Bam, click of a button, they're now part of that marketing list. So now anyone in marketing that's going to do that 25% campaign, they now are going to get those people in there. Now, depending on how your business processes work between your sales and marketing, we can automate this even further. We now have this concept called dynamic marketing list. This is a new feature in 2011. So for example, if Jason, Lisa, and Bob here automatically met the filter for my leads marketing list, they would dynamically be added to that marketing list as I entered them in CRM. Let me kind of show you an example of that here in my marketing list. I'll give that a couple seconds, we'll move on if that doesn't come up. All right, so we're maybe going to come back to that one here. Again, being beta, they don't know what they're doing on the server all the time. Oh, there we go. So for an example, let's say my Illinois contacts. Anytime someone adds a contact in my system that meets the requirements that they're in Illinois, they will automatically be added to this marketing list. I don't have to waste time and have manually put them in there. And that is done by this new feature here. For those of you familiar with CRM, we now have this concept of dynamic marketing lists. So what I've kind of just showed you here is really how CRM can enable your organization to shorten those sales cycles, right, by fostering an efficient and effective, lead management capabilities, those features I've just shown. So at this point here, I know I've done a lot of talking. Looking at the clock here, I know we started a little bit late. We're probably going to go a little bit quicker through the PowerPoint and go into customer service from a live demonstration standpoint. But any questions or comments to this point? Okay. So the last thing I want to do here in sales is just kind of go to the dashboard. Again, this is where we're getting the best kind of feedback here from our customers. So the use case here is, in your organization, what happens when a new salesperson comes on board? How do we get them not only on board from an HR perspective, but how do we explain to them what their territory is, who the customers are, what their opportunities are, what was being worked on by the previous account manager? What I've done here is what I created is a dashboard for new account managers. And what this is I've reached out to an external website, in this case it could be an internal portal, that shows what my particular sales process is within my organization, right? So that's obviously a new salesperson we need to understand on how we actually go through a deal and go through a pipeline to get revenue out of our customers from a revenue recognition standpoint. But I've also thrown some popular charts on there. So the same chart we saw earlier, I've just thrown that in the dashboard. So I can see my pipeline, I can see my lead generation rate, and more importantly, I can see my accounts by territory. It looks like I have 2 yet to assign. I also give them a list of all their existing accounts that they're currently assigned to coming new on board. And then wouldn't it be nice to know where all these accounts are? So what I've done is I've just dropped in a web service feature that was built on Marketplace that will be out there. Let's just do Bing Maps so I can plot all my accounts on a map. And again, these are real time. So I can go into this chart just like I did before. Further select it down again if I want to go back to my potential customer, do the bar chart of that. Again, the same thing as we did before I can do here as well. I can go back. I can make this larger to get a better idea of what that's all about. I can even change the charts. An example of that, let's say this is all fine and well, but I want to change this. So what I can do is I can do a save as here. We'll call this new dashboard 34. I think that's what I'm on here and creating these guys. And I want to show you how easy it is for the users now to modify their own dashboards as well. From an administrator perspective and from a Microsoft out-of-box perspective, we give you over a dozen dashboards out of the box. But what if I want to edit it and change it to meet my particular needs? So as you can see here, here's that iframe concept where I can bring in any website. So in this case, you know what, that's all fine and well, but let's just bring in another website here. So I can do something as simple as, maybe we'll bring in ZY here, zysolutions.com.
Got it, ZT Solutions.
Thank you. I appreciate that component. You guys didn't change your name? It'd be easier if you just changed your name for demo purposes. All right, so there we go. So now we can see my different charts down here. You know what, this is fine. I'm not really worried about this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and edit that. I don't want that particular one. What I want to do is I want to delete on entities. Let's say I want to pick my, it seems like I got to be careful with what data I use here. Let's go back to my, accounts here. So let's do accounts. And not just active accounts, I want to do all accounts, all up for deals instead of respond to the campaigns. And click OK. That'll now show up there as well. I can also make these larger. Let's say for whatever reason I want to increase the width of this one. I'll make that one bigger. And let's just kind of save this and see what this looks like. Just want to kind of show you how easy that was. We'll ignore that. We get one more thing in. Don't send. We're in beta. We know. So now, just like that, I've inputted external data, in this case, just a simple web page. This can be an internal application that's surfaced via the web as well. I have my website up here. I've now made my dashboard down here a little bit bigger. I've created a different account industry. Again, all this being live. And the most important thing about all of this is all user configurable, all via point and click. You didn't see me drop out any coding or having to go to any other Microsoft applications in order to create a dashboard. So any questions around dashboarding capabilities? Okay, let's go back to our PowerPoint. Let's touch on customer service here. For some reason, I jumped down on my presentation. Customer service. All right, so we're going to escalate the process here a little bit. I know we're running on time. We started late. So I want to talk about the 2011, our promises, right, to enable your business within customer care. And it's all about really delighting your customers and strengthening the bottom line, right? Streamlining issue resolution, containing costs without sacrificing service, boosting those operational efficiencies, right? Arming each person, right, with insight to what's going on around them from a customer service perspective. So, Michael, if you can go ahead and just send me another email, put in the subject line, my iPhone, for example, maybe my iPhone's not getting good reception. I'll show you the live demonstrations of how we can work that particular request coming into customer service. So, again, we're building upon the capabilities that we have in CRM4. And so, again, the productivity is right, having the right data at their fingertips, faster problem resolution, simplifying that work management. At the end of the day, giving them the metrics they need in order to resolve that call, that email first time around, not having to transfer the call, and doing it in a quickly and timely manner, still having that customer satisfaction being high. So one of the concepts we have here is something we call the most recently used list. So, in a call center, right, it's even more important so than other departments that agents have timely access to the right data. So we talked about, we kind of skipped the marketing conditions. Why this is so important, right? Our customers are demanding more from us. When we call in, they better know why we're calling in, why we called in last time, and what maybe prompts we hit in that, maybe that IVR, right? That call prompting system we have out there. So we need to be able to, allow them, to reduce the amount of applications they have to jump between to get the information to help that particular customer request. And of course, right, many agents are measured, right, and their speed to handle inquiries and that speed to resolution. So with 2011, we want to put that data at their fingertips. So with this example, a call center agent, right, may remember the name of a customer, but can't remember, if it was an account record, maybe a case record, or maybe it was a contract record. Well, with this most recently used list, the agent can instantly see that that record and open it with just one click. Or maybe the agent, maybe we're having a certain, right, the phones are lighting up because there's been a service outage and everyone's calling in based on a certain issue. Well, in this case, we can have, that knowledge base article also be in that reduced, or we can pin that as well. So those of you that use, Windows 7 and Office, you have that pinning capability to pin those common applications, that common document that you're always using. Well, the same thing now can be done in CRM as well. So both these are kind of examples of how we can save, that call center agent those clicks, those number of screens that have to open, and also just really saving them time, right? Flattening that UI. So speaking of flattening the UI, having that information at my fingertips, right? Ultimately, the customers want their issue and their question resolved that first time, right? At the end of the day, that's really what we have call centers and customer service for, to resolve those issues and problems. So in 2011, we can help that customer service organization achieve faster problem resolution by providing a very intuitive and time-saving features. And there's a lot of what we've done here in 2011. It's not just in customer service. It has the most impact in customer service. It's flattening that UI, not having all these windows open up that I have to, first of all, open, but now when I complete that call, I have to close them as well. What we've done is we just flatten that UI so all that is within one screen. Now I'm just scrolling up and down to be able to get that information. So ultimately, right, that UI is going to minimize those clicks, reduce those windows, and allow a call center agent within the organization to rapidly and more effectively track those particular cases. We're going to go into live demonstration to see some of these. And the last thing I want to touch upon here, just looking at our time here, is I want to touch upon these guided processes, these guided dialogues. So one of the biggest issues in a service organization is that skill disparity. Right, in essence, right, there are some good agents, they do a fantastic job, they always find a way to have this great customer service stats. But then we have some that just seem challenged. Of course, we have those many layers in between. But an inconsistent service experience can be very damaging for your business, right? If I'm calling to my local communication provider, one day I have this great service, they know exactly what my problem is, then I call in, maybe an hour later to get someone else, and it's just a completely different experience, right? We need to find a way to make that customer experience consistent, but also very good as well. So what we do here in 2011 is we provide you the tools to allow you to do that in a consistent and effective way. And one of the ways we can do this is through this guided dialogue feature, which allows your service organization to easily create, reuse, and automate the problem resolution process and actually guide the question and answer dialogue. Now, of course, this can apply to outside customer service as well. This can be done from a sales perspective, from a dialogue for how to qualify a lead as well, but probably the more powerful impact within your customer service. So these guided dialogues allow your service organization to provide that consistent and effective approach, whether it's problem resolution or maybe even upsell or cross-sell, as we have that caller as well, to be able to have that uniform level of service for our customers. So with that, let's go jump back to the live demonstration here. There's more things in this deck here. You'll get a copy of this deck here from Michael at ZY, so there's more information here as well. But I want to go to the demonstration as well to kind of show you some of these from a live perspective here. Okay, so let's make that guy big again. So let's go back to my inbox. Let's see if we've gotten Michael's email. Nope, let me just do a quick send receive here. All right, excellent. There it is. So look at Michael here. We're actually going to open this one up. All right, Michael's having some issues here with his iPhone. So what I'm going to do is, all right, what I'm going to do is, Michael, we already know Michael's a CRM user because it came in as already being tracked in CRM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and convert this right to a case, right from the email. Go ahead and convert the case. And in this case, I'll put subject. This is just going to be a service inquiry. And here, I'm going to again open up that new case. In this case, I'm going to close the email form, right? Let CRM do that for me, right? Reduce the amount of clicks. So what I've done is I've closed that email and I've opened up that case. So this happens to be a common problem I'm aware of. So what I want to do is just reply to Michael here. So I'm going to do is create a related. I'm going to go and do an email. And in this case, please follow the below. I'm just going to simply, again, just click with the mouse, insert the knowledge-based article. In this case, this is one I've recently used, so it's a common topic. So go ahead and insert this knowledge-based article. So let's go ahead and send that off. Go ahead and send. And now I have resolved this case. So I just go in here, go to my case, resolve case. Let's say email KB, done, and goodbye. So as you can see, just a few clicks straight from email. I opened a case, I inserted a knowledge-based article, closed the case, minimal windows, very efficient way from a customer service perspective. So any questions? Those of you at CRM4 users, I know you're probably drooling a little bit, going, wow, that's fantastic. Those of you that aren't current CRM users, like, well, yeah, I would expect that to happen. So, so that is the capability around that. So any questions around that ability? All right, so I want to be really sensitive to the time. I know we got started later today, and I know we had an hour. So, Michael, do we still want to have a hard stop at 11 o'clock and kind of go into the extended CRM demonstration really quick, or how do you want to use these last 8 minutes?
Well, I mean, let's just keep going and just cover as much as you can, and if people need to drop off, that's all right.
Okay, and again, this deck, I kind of gone a little bit quick just to catch up back on time, so we have this information in the deck as well. And of course, we'd love to hear from you after this as well, with any questions that you have. So let's go back to that presentation. So we're going to kind of go through this. Again, we can come back to that later if we have time at the end. I want to get into our extended CRM conversation. So before we kind of get into the details, these new features and capabilities that help extend that CRM investment, now I want to spend just a few moments here kind of defining what we mean by extended CRM and how it relates to what you might have heard in the past or still currently hear about is what we call XRM. So kind of like an easy term, XRM refers to the flexible technical framework that allows you as an organization to easily configure and customize your existing Microsoft CRM deployment. So in essence, think of it as that enabling technology for extending your CRM investment. And then the extended CRM refers to the ability for your organization to easily extend those core CRM capabilities, right? So CRM can track, and manage other relationships. For example, we're showing some up here right now, but for example, like managing your partners, and suppliers. It also refers to the ability for organizations, right, to easily create industry templates, right, and solutions on top of Microsoft CRM. So the promises we've made, right, to enable your organization around improving solution relevance and business impact is about enhancing the value of all the relationships, within your organization. Improving that business fit by allowing organizations to tailor it to their individual needs. Driving operational excellence by streamlining the creation of industry solutions, automating those processes, right, and increasing, business agility, right, by being able to rapidly find, adopt, and take advantage of complementary applications and solutions that have been already built out there that you can grab down from the CRM marketplace, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. So again, we're not going to kind of save some time here. We won't talk about the existing capabilities that we have. Let's talk about how we enhance what we have today in CRM4 with 2011. So impactful connections, right? More impactful connections, right? A role-tailored fit, greater industry relevance, and the ability to take better advantage, right, of those value-added solutions. So connections. So those of you that leverage CRM 4.0 today, we have that concept, that capability called relationships. Well, we've kind of turned that upside down here with 2011. We've built that out considerably now, with connections now being able to tie any entity, any field within CRM to a connection. So what do I mean by that? So, with this feature, you as an organization can easily define and set up any relationship that you want to track, assign attributes to it, and then actually associate those individuals to that relationship. So for an example, as you as an organization may have a complex sales process, and in addition to that, have traditional roles that they sell to, right? That may need to influence peripheral roles like maybe in-house lawyers, tax consultants, accountants, maybe outside vendors, constituents. So with this connections feature, they can now identify these key roles, associate them to specific individuals, and then track all associated actions and activities around those interactions. So in turn, this is going to allow them to better track those non-traditional roles and use them for their extended CRM initiatives. Leveraging that social connector feature I showed you within 2011. So native within Outlook now, we can take full benefit of that social connector. I'm going to show you an example of how it's been built on top of that even more by something that eventually you'll be able to pull off the Microsoft Dynamics marketplace. So now, in essence, the social connector is going to allow users to see online influence, specific individuals by showing their social connections, right, through a networking sites, right, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. So we think an example of how this can be relevant to your business. So maybe, right now you're currently working an opportunity with maybe a low-ranking, individual, and really haven't given it much attention. The opportunity doesn't seem to be that large, and, you really haven't worked your way up the chain, if you will, from a decision-maker standpoint. So you're kind of a qualified little deal, and you kind of have it at the back end of your radar. But what if this organization knew, right, you knew that the individual had 500 followers on Twitter, and that individual was also friends with the CEO of the company, on Facebook? Well, that might all of a sudden change on how you view that so-called low-ranking individual, right? So they have if they have that strong online influence, they probably need to treat them or her, right, with a more kind of golden touch type of care. So what this really does, right, this feature directly helps to enable the extended CRM scenarios as well, because as the lines have started to blur really between that traditional and those online business worlds, you as an organization, right, need to take a more holistic approach to relationship management and have more context of the individuals and who they're dealing with and who they actually have connections with in that online world. And that's exactly what this capability can provide for you here with CRM 2011. Role-tailored forms. One of the most effective ways to improve that business fit of that business solution is ensure that the solution is optimized to that specific user and role. And that's exactly what we do here with this role-tailored experience. So it's based on the roles I've set up in CRM and the security roles as well. So if I'm a sales manager, there might be certain things on an opportunity form that I want to see, and there's other things really I can care less about. If I'm a sales manager, if I'm just a sales rep, or I'm the the VP of all sales, I'm going to want a different form. Well, 2011, we can now do that. So we can make that information relevant to that end user on what they want to see and interact with from a reporting perspective. Again, relevancy on that information, giving it business fit, and ultimately what this is going to do is increase that user adoption. Drag and drop. So those of you that currently use CRM, where we go to settings, we find our entity or table, we look for a field, maybe we have to add a field, now have to go to the form designer, add it in the form. Now with CRM 2011, right from the form, if I have administrative privileges, I simply click edit, and I have now drag and drop capabilities to add fields, to move fields around, and create those forms. Again, now it enables me to be able to expand these CRM scenarios easier, but even from a core CRM perspective, I've made the customization and configuration a lot more effortless than it was in CRM4. So I'm being conscious of time here, so I want to go back. Let's go back into CRM here. Now I want to show you an example of how we add solutions to CRM. So I have a teammate of mine who enhanced upon the CRM the Outlook/CRM social connector that you get out of the box. And they actually created a solution. The solution will be on the marketplace, and you just simply download and add it in. I just did this a couple of days ago, and it just works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my accounts. In this case, I'm going to pull up Microsoft as account, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out and see all the different social networking things that are happening around Microsoft. So, of course, as I click on that, it wants to sync here, so someone's doing something on the server. So we'll just give this a couple more moments. And again, we're kind of waiting for this. Please chime in, via the web or voice here if you have any questions or comments to this point. So here, let's go to Microsoft. And in this case, I'm actually going to open up this account. We'll actually look at the details. So off the bat, what you'll see here is, I have address information. Well, what's nice is I'm showing a map of where Microsoft's located. So there's our Redmond campus, so I can kind of get that information. But also now I have this public data that we can simply add. So what I did is I just add a solution to bring in what's going on with Microsoft via Bing Finance. And this is all live information. I also brought in what's going on with Microsoft from an SEC perspective. Again, this is all scrollable, so I can look down what forms have they put in there. Again, from an account perspective, going out to talk to a customer like Microsoft, I might want to know what's going on. But then getting back to the reason I got in here, what's going on from a social media perspective? Let's scroll down here so we can see this. So for the last day, let's take a peek of what the buzz is on Microsoft. And we'll also do the same thing down here, what's going on with my competition as well. So here I can see I got about 628 things that happened here over the last, day here. So but this is all fine and well, but what are they talking about? Well, if I look, it looks like Microsoft's been related to Microsoft Connect, something going on with Nintendo, looks like some stuff around cloud, so it looks like the USDA here will migrate excess of actually I want to read that one, it's a good one to read, 120 users into the Microsoft Cloud. Hey, fantastic, maybe our stock price went up. Let's back up and look here. Now it's still kind of just sitting flat today. But again, as you can see the power of this for your corporation, and you put your company in there, or your prospects information in there, right? So you're going out to do a sales call. Wouldn't it be nice to know if you're maybe talking to Steve Ballmer, hey, Steve, congratulations on the USDA win, to be able to go in there and see what's actually going on. So again, having this information right within CRM. I haven't gone anywhere else to view this information. This is being surfaced right within CRM. So very powerful being able to bring external data resources into CRM and bring that at the user's fingertips to be able to manage and proactively manage those accounts. So any questions around that? Okay. So I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint here because I want to talk about the CRM marketplace here as we wrap things up. So this is new. So this is actually in beta. It's out there today. It will go live with release to web of CRM Online, which is going to happen here middle of January is the projected release date of CRM 2011. And what you'll be able to do is, just like I showed you that social networking add-in, how I showed you that Bing's Financial, the SEC, all these applications will be available on the CRM marketplace as solutions. And then you as an end customer right within CRM can drop those into your CRM instance. Now, of course, in some cases, those will be value added on. Our partners might create these, and they may charge for those particular ones, but this will be a transaction portal as well. We'll be there at the end of the calendar year. Right now, we're just going to direct you to that partner, that ISV solution site to purchase the product. But in the future, second half of this next calendar year, you'll actually be able to do that transaction right within CRM as well. Another advantage of this is you're able to try stuff. So you want to pull down a solution, even though there might be a fee for it, where you can try it for 30 days and then be prompted to pay for it. So again, putting a marketplace out there for CRM is for CRM. Now, I also want to mention, because I know some of us on the call here are Dynamics ERP customers, this marketplace is also going to contain ERP solutions as well. So in summary here, again, trying to stay to our hour, with CRM 2011, right? As you can see, we've got over 500 features. We just kind of covered the surface of some of them with these enhancements and features. But this deck really, it highlights some of those higher-level new features and really kind of only scratched at that surface here for regards to what these new capabilities are. But again, more important than the number of new features, as we talked about at the beginning, it's the value that they're going to provide to you, to your specific business. So as you've seen throughout this deck and kind of live demonstration that I've done, these features can provide a wide array of benefits. And ultimately, right, they have one thing in common. They're going to help your organization increase productivity through efficiency and effectiveness no matter what that job role happens to be. And that's really what CRM 2011 is all about, that power of productivity. So with that, I know we have some follow-ups we want to do here with Michael. We'll kind of end up here. We'll open it up for Q&A as well, and we'll monitor the chat line as well. So Michael, at this point, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, well, I just want to say thank you for everybody for attending. Bob, great job on doing the demo there. Just for a quick follow-up here for our people who currently aren't CRM users, Microsoft has a big, easy offering till the end of the year that'll help you get some money back on the software cost there, as well as the 30-day free trial that Bob touched on there. And starting next week, I'm going to be contacting all of you to answer any questions you may have with CRM 2011 and also discuss your business initiatives going forward. At this point, we'll just open it up for some Q&A and see what questions you may have.
And the beta is, we're waiting for questions if any come in. The beta is available as well to the public via online, so you don't have to install anything. You don't need servers or anything. This is all via the cloud. So you can actually download the beta. So if you just go in your favorite browser, I won't pick on anyone here, but maybe it is Bing. I hope it is Bing. Just simply type in Dynamics CRM 2011 beta, and I'll bring you right to the site to just sign up for 2011 beta to, if you want to actually play around with yourself. Yeah, so I don't know, like, if we saw the callers muted. I'm looking on chat here as well. I don't see anything coming across.
All right. So, all right, so no questions from anybody? All right, well, Bob and I will stay on for a couple more minutes. You guys have any questions? If not, thank you for attending, and I look forward to talking with you next week.